Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this Blitz chess postmortem video. This is a postmortem of my Blitz chess game number 170. I was black here, so let's turn the board around. And my opponent kicked off with e4, and I played e6, hoping to get a French defense. But my opponent surprised me with the unusual move e5 here. And it looks like there are different ways to play. I just chose to play d5, which is fine, allowing white to continue if he wants to with d4, and then we're just in an advanced variation of the French defense. But he decided to take here, and now we're in a unusual line. Not very common and not particularly good for white. I looked at this with the chess engine, and it thinks black is better through most of this. I'm going to leave the engine off so I can do some tactical quizzes later. But so far, just kind of normal development. I castle here, bishop g5, pinning the knight. Oh, here, let's have a little sound too. And then h6, kicking the bishop. And c5. My idea is just to undermine the center. I'm a little better developed. I've castled, and he's a couple moves, maybe 3 moves at least, away from castling. So if I can open things up while this king is still in the center, this is good for me. He plays knight a3, developing his queen side. I don't know if that's the right choice. He might have been better off with knight f3 and bishop e2 and just castling. But anyway, it's still playable. Although, as I said, the chess engine gives an edge to black all through this. So just the basic opening gives black an edge here. Queen takes d4. I guess he didn't want to open up this diagonal to his king. Although I think pawn takes d4 is an alternative. That the one thing white has going for him here is that he does have a little more control of the center, a little more space. But Black is better overall with his better development and his safer king. Okay, I just continue developing knight c6, kicking the queen, queen d2. So here's the first suggestion from the chess engine. I didn't play this move, but it's an interesting tactical move. It doesn't actually win material, but it does sort of result. It's a forcing move that results in some exchanges and leaves black in a good position with less material on the board. So if you want to think about it for a while, you can pause the video, see if you can decide what you would play as black. Okay, I'm going to give the answer away now. The chess engine recommends knight e4. And the point of this is that the bishop is hanging over here. So if the queen were to just move away, I could take the bishop, for example. Oh, and also the queen can't move to a square that protects the bishop. It can't come here or here. So it can't protect the bishop. This is covered by my bishop, and that's covered by the pawn. So, he might try moving and attacking my knight, but when I take his bishop, I protect my knight, so I'm just a piece up. So really his only choice at this point is to take my queen. I take his. And then there's 2 possibilities here. Either you can take here with the king, I take back, and we get this position where, again, there's less material on the board. I still have my advantage in development, and I also have the 2 bishops advantage, the bishop pair. So if we back up, his other choice would be to, after knight takes queen, his other choice would be to just retreat the bishop, and then I can take his bishop with my knight. And once again, black has better development and the bishop pair. So and he's gotten rid of the queen, so it should make winning the game easier from this point. So anyway, that's the chess engine's evaluation. It thinks both of those are probably winning for black. It gives it more than a point advantage. I didn't really think about that too much. I played bishop e7 and just defending my knight and getting ready to move this knight with tempo. At some point, he plays knight to c4. I go knight d5. And play my knight out this way. I wanted to exchange off this bishop. This is actually one of his better pieces, and he rightly decides to keep it and move it to a different diagonal. So this is actually a good square for the bishop, covering all these squares along the diagonal. So I play b6. I need to develop my light squared bishop. He goes bishop d3, so he's developing his pieces. All logical moves. And now f3. I guess this was to blunt my bishop. So right here is your second tactical quiz opportunity. It's black's turn to move. And once again, it's similar to the last one. There's a move here which is tactical in nature, simplifies the position a bit, and keeps the advantage for black, but doesn't actually win material. So see if you can, given those clues, can you find the move? Okay, I'm going to give the answer away. It's knight d to b5. b4. Knight d to b4. And so the first thing you notice is that he can't really take this because the bishop takes is pretty devastating. Pinning the queen to the king and just winning the queen for 2 pieces. So that's not good. And then the second thing you notice is that the bishop is under attack. So it might go like this. Bishop here. The chess engine recommends playing f5 at this point. Bishop takes, trading queens, and then taking. And so once again, we've got a situation where black is better developed, and the queens are off, and black has the bishop pair. Now this time white still has castling privileges, so actually white's slightly better off in this position than he was in the earlier lines that we looked at, but still a winning edge for black here. So interesting kind of tactic to place your piece on a square where it can be taken, but when you take back you get some devastating position or tactic. So it looks like it can be taken, but it really can't. It's always good to be on the lookout for tactics of that nature. So instead, I played b5. This is also a good move. It's not like I'm playing bad moves. It's just that there are a couple opportunities for improvement there. But these moves that I play maintain the advantage for black. So black is still doing good. Knight ran to e5. I traded, and then played a6 to support the pawn on b5. So he goes queen f2, and now I play a tactic here. So yeah, I'll just put it on since I played it during the game. The idea with knight takes c3 is that if he takes back with either the bishop or the pawn, I grab his bishop. And so I've just won a pawn. So this is good, but he comes up with this interesting move, queen g3. And queen g3 is actually a mistake. And so there's a simple refutation that black can play here and just put the game away in one move. So hopefully you can spot this one. I'll give you a second to think about it or pause the video. Okay, I'm going to give the answer away now, and it is bishop h4, right there. So once again, the queen is pinned to the king, and you're just winning massive amounts of material. So it's kind of a shame I missed that one. That one was pretty much on the surface there. But I was thinking, that's the problem, I guess. You get these. There is an attack here, right? He's threatening to checkmate me in one, and the reason bishop h4 works is because it pins the queen, so he can't checkmate me. He can't move the queen. So it's an interesting tactic. I was thinking of how to stop the mate, and I realized that bishop here is no good. Let's show that. Bishop here, bishop takes, queen takes, and then he grabs my knight. So I was a little bit worried at this point and trying to find, and he's a piece up, so I was trying to find a better alternative to blocking with the bishop, and I didn't think of pinning the queen at all. I played the move f6, and this works and maintains an edge for black, who's going to remain a pawn up. So he plays queen g6, just trying to maintain his attack here, and this is the last little quiz here. The move I played, f takes e5, is a mistake because it allows white to get a perpetual check, and the game would end in a draw with best play. So there is another move here, and in fact it's, two moves. And they are the only moves that keep the advantage for black. So see if you can find the only moves there's 2 of them. Either one I will give credit for. Two moves that can keep the advantage for black. And of course, notice the threat is queen to h7, followed by king to king to f7, and then bishop to g6 is checkmate, because the king from there has no escape. So there is a checkmate threat. So that limits your options. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video now, give yourself some time to think about it, I'm going to give the answer away. So the answer is you have to stop or block up this diagonal, and you can do it with either knight e4 or bishop e4. That's why there's two moves, and it transposes. And then after that exchange, you can grab the bishop. So you keep your piece, and black keeps an advantage here because once again, white is just tremendously behind in development. So for example, if white grabs a pawn to maintain material balance, there's material equality now. Black just develops his rooks, and now all of black's pieces are developed, and white's king is just completely exposed, and he can't castle. The knight's in the way on this side, and on this side, the rook and the queen are guarding his squares for his king to castle through, so he can't castle. So the best play for white at this point is actually to go knight e2, and then black can play queen to d5, and then black can castle, and white can castle, and black maintains a material edge. He maintains a pawn up, and the game continues, but with advantage to black. So that's the way to maintain the advantage. What I played, well, I saw it saved the checkmate, and I played that. I considered this move. I just didn't see it all the way through. Actually, I considered blocking the diagonal. It's one of the few options that stops the mate. So anyway, he continues here. Check. I go here, and now he should just check here and go for the perpetual, and this would be a draw. But instead, he tried to play on with the bishop to g6. But now white is actually losing after this move, because my king is not getting trapped. He had this move here, threatening queen to g6, checkmate. So if you didn't see the game and you want to block the right-hand side of the screen, see if you can figure out how black escapes checkmate here. Now what's the best move for black? Okay, I will give the answer away. It is bishop to b4. This is a nice move. It's a top engine choice. It does two things. It gives the king a flight square, so the game continues queen g6 here, check, queen here, check, king here. This is all best, and then he takes the knight. Really, there's no better way to play it, because there's this devastating discovered attack here, and the knight is also covering the d1 square, so he can't play rook d1 and win material this way by skewering the king and the queen, which is often a tactical theme when you're attacking like this in the corner, chasing the king out in the open. Then you bring your rook over to finish him off. So he's got to get rid of the knight, but then the bishop retakes with check, and then the king moves. It should have gone to f1 technically, but it's still losing in any case because I'm just a rook up here. So knight e2 he develops, and I play queen b6 check, and after the move king to g3. That's why king f1 would have been better than king f2, because this move queen b6 wouldn't have been with check. After here, if he goes back, I just retreat my bishop and remain a piece up. So he went here, trying to maintain a threat to my bishop, but then rook g8 wins the queen, so for a rook. So he just resigned here. There's no more attack. If he continues with rook d1, then bishop to d5 is adequate defense. So no hope for white here, and he resigned. So, but pretty interesting tactical game. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you again soon. Oh, leave any comments you have in the section below. Bye.